Hey there YouTube, it's Christina. This video is a review of our journey to successful nighttime cloth diapering. We started cloth diapering when our son was 3 weeks old. During the day, we did not get up confidence to even start at night, I would say, until he was 2.5 months, and he's now 5 months old. So from 2.5 months until really just a couple of weeks ago, we've been working with different diapers, different setups. Also, he's been going through different life stages which have changed what are working for him. So I'm just going to walk you through what we tried, why it did or didn't work, and show you where we ended up. And just know that this journey does have a happy ending. So I think probably the majority of people at least start with an overnight of the disposable. Disposables was what we started him with when he came home from the hospital, and we kept him in those for overnight because they were still working, and again we didn't have a lot of confidence with cloth. What started to happen is he was starting to wet so much during the night that the disposable was, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was just disorientating, getting all over, and he was starting to get some leaks. So then we put him in a cover, a flip cover, over the disposable to keep the wetness in. That was working, but as our confidence built, we thought, hey, we're successfully doing this during the day. Let's give it a shot for nighttime. So the first thing that I did was went to a Bum Genius. This is a size medium, and it has the Velcro closure. This is the all-in-one, so there is an insert on the inside of this diaper. The size mediums weren't fitting him yet, and so the idea was, hey, let's go ahead and use something now while he's a little too small for it to work during the day. Start getting some use out of it overnight. So we used the size medium Bum Genius and stuffed it, in addition to what was already there as an all-in-one, with a standard Bum Genius insert as well as a newborn insert. This actually did work for us for a little while. We did have some occasional leaks with it, but it worked fairly well. But we were still getting some redness on him when he woke up in the morning. So kept trying some other things. I also tried just a standard Bum Genius 3.0 pocket. So I thought, well, maybe he needs a little more looseness here with the stay dry side. Stuffed the pocket again with 2 standard inserts and the 1 newborn insert. This worked okay as well, still getting some redness on him. And then the last one that we tried in that phase was this is a Dinkle-Doos. We did the Dinkle-Doos insert, the standard one that comes with, as well as the Bum Genius insert and the Bum Genius newborn insert. If you can't tell, my son's kind of a heavy wetter. So these were working okay, but we were still getting some occasional leaks, and there was still enough redness on his bottom in the morning that I wanted to try some other things. So I kept going. That was about the time that we got the Rumparoos. So we gave the Rumparoos a try as an overnight diaper. We used both inserts, and on the Rumparoos, if you know, it's kind of hard to see, maybe you can turn it this way. It has this top level newborn insert with this nice piece here, which is great for the fit on him, as well as the full bottom, and has a lot of adjustments. So this is just the plain 6-hour soaker. This is not the hemp version of it. We did put him in this a few nights. We didn't have leaks with it, still having some of the redness though in the morning, so we kept going. Then I thought maybe we need to stop trying things that we already have, even though that's most cost effective, and really start getting into things specifically for heavy wetters at night. So we purchased the Kawaii Baby Heavy Wetter Overnight. It comes with 2 inserts in the diaper already. These are pretty thick, if you can tell. So this, no kidding, is the diaper stuffed with the 2 inserts that it comes with. And I'm sorry that I'm having to look up a little bit to make sure you can see this. So we did buy 2 of these. They're really cost effective actually, except they were only $10, which was great. And they did work in terms of holding in the wetness for a while, which is good. I'm still getting a little bit of red, so I made a modification to that setup. and used a flip insert. The idea behind using the flip insert on top and then the standard Kauai overnight one beneath this one was that it has a stay dry layer here on top, and I thought, well, given the inside of the diaper itself is trying to wick moisture away and the first layer underneath is trying to wick moisture away, maybe that'll help us with our redness. It did get a little better, but then what started happening is my son started rolling over. So once my son started rolling over, the game started to change because he loves to sleep on his side, and then eventually he will roll to his tummy. What happens with a side sleeper, at least for a boy, I haven't heard of this as much from my friends who have girls, is that you will get leaks out the side, and that's exactly what happened on this diaper. My son does have pretty thin legs. This is a pretty thick diaper, and the leg holes really don't get that small, as you can see, and he has thinner legs. So what happens, right, he gets on his side, we get leaks. We moved on. So then I started exploring what is the best thing for rolling sleepers, basically, or side sleepers. That's when I got to fitteds. This is one of our fitteds. I ended up doing some more research at this point. I was feeling pretty confident in exactly what I was looking for and what was going to work for us. This is a work-at-home mom fitted, so a WAM fitted, from someone I bought from on Etsy. I knew kind of what I was looking for in the diaper, and I also was looking at the profile of the mom that I was going to buy from. So the mom that I ended up buying from has children who she cloth diapers, and she tries all of her own stuff on all of her own kids. That for me was big because I knew that far less risky, right? Because once you buy a work-at-home mom diaper, at least in the resale market, these are much harder to resell. So if it didn't work for us, we were going to kind of be stuck. And overnight ones are a little bit more expensive. I've looked at Good Mamas and some other options that are supposed to be bulletproof, but the Good Mama for overnight was $40 a diaper. I was not ready to put that kind of money into a diapering system, so we went with this one. I will show you what's inside. This diaper, by the way, works the best by far out of all of them. So inside of this diaper, which is really cute, by the way, it's all organic velour, cotton velour inside. It has the lay-in, this is a snap-in soaker here. You can kind of see, pops out there, there's the buttons. And then it has an additional little doubler that lays on top. This is not very big, but it is extremely absorbent. So I actually don't even have to use this right now, which is great. So I know that I have additional things I can put in here as she starts to become a little bit older. So we started with a fitted, this fitted right here, with a flip cover over it. Less redness there, which was great. I do also put a fleece stay dry inside of it just to make sure that he has an additional layer there from the wetness. That was working, but I had read some additional things on breathability, so we kept going. Where we then ended up was a fleece soaker. So I was reading a lot about wool, very interested in wool, loved the breathability, loved the way that it handles moisture and does the wicking of the moisture. However, did not want to invest $40 a piece in a wool soaker, let alone some wool longies cost $75. And to be really honest, I didn't want to add to my wash routine, you know. I wanted to stay with being able to wash everything in one load, put those out to dry, and honestly, you know, stuff my pockets and be done. So we are now with a fitted, never had a leak in the fitted. I am so excited about that. Put the wool soaker over the fitted. These are his pants that he wears at night. We just put a t-shirt on and his socks for him at night. This soaker that we have here has snaps, which I didn't think I would like the snaps, but I will tell you the snaps are huge. So it snaps all the way down on both sides, so it opens up completely. So you can put it on just like a diaper. And this might be hard to see, but it has an extra layer kind of right around here